Hi everyone. So thank you for joining in today. We will be speaking on lifestyle modifications for polycystic ovary syndrome. For those of you all who are new, we say welcome. I am Shireen Gervayard. I am the founder of Destyne Fit and Be Empowered. And before we start, I would tell you a little bit about Destyne Fit. So the meaning behind the name Destyne Fit is we are destined to be healthy and fit. And our clients learn to change their lifestyle for a fit and a healthier version of themselves. We help our clients through their journey to have optimum fitness through our fitness challenges that we usually have. So our Destyne Fit team, we coach our clients one-on-one on how to upgrade their lifestyle for a fit and a healthier body and mind. And this afternoon, our aim is to be knowledgeable of lifestyle factors and polycystic ovary syndrome. So shortened term for that is PCOS. And our objectives to be able to define PCOS, to be able to identify the risk factors of PCOS, to be able to state the symptoms and complications of PCOS, and to be able to list the steps to lifestyle modifications and weight loss. Okay, so polycystic ovary syndrome is a hormonal disorder and it's common among women of reproductive age. It affects 1 out of every 10 women. And women with polycystic ovary syndrome may have infrequent or prolonged menstrual periods or excess male hormones, which is called androgen. So the androgen levels may be high. And the ovaries may develop numerous small collections of fluid, which are also called follicles, and they fail to release eggs regularly. So you would see from the photo there with their cysts. Unfortunately, the exact cause of PCOS is unknown. Some factors that may play a role include excess insulin. Insulin is a hormone produced in the pancreas that allows our cells to use sugar. So your body's primary energy supply is glucose. And if your cells become resistant to the action of insulin, then your blood sugar levels can rise and your body might produce more insulin. So excess insulin might increase your androgen production, and this causes difficulty with your ovulation. Low-grade inflammation. So the term is used to describe white blood cells production of substances to actually fight infection. And research has shown that women with polycystic ovary syndrome, they have a type of low-grade inflammation. And that low-grade inflammation actually stimulates the polycystic ovaries to produce more androgens. And this androgens, the low-grade inflammation along with the androgens, can actually lead to heart and blood vessel problems. So we see that it can go from one thing to another. So we have to pay specific attention to our body. We have hereditary. So research suggests that certain genes might be linked to PCOS, excess androgen, and we know the ovaries produce abnormally high levels of androgen, and this results in acne. It also results in some women in a lot of facial hair. Unhealthy food habits, low physical activity, also high stress levels, and increased refined foods, also increase refined grains, increase refined sugars. These lifestyles are big factors in developing polycystic ovary syndrome. High stress levels can lead to high cortisol levels, and this can increase your inflammation in your body. So we need to maintain our stress levels. We need to find coping mechanisms when we have stress. For some people, exercise. They exercise. For some people, they read, they take walks. So you just need to find what works for you. But unhealthy food plays an important role also in developing polycystic ovaries. So a study was done in 2019, and this study found that women affected with polycystic ovary syndrome followed a poor lifestyle. They consumed excessive junk food. They had no or low physical activity, and they had more intake of refined carbohydrates, and their stress levels were very high. And this was from a study which was done in 2019. So some of the signs and symptoms of polycystic ovary syndrome often develop around the time of your first menstrual period or during puberty. Sometimes polycystic ovary syndrome develops later, for example, in response to substantial weight gain. So some signs and symptoms, they vary, but the diagnosis of polycystic ovaries is actually made when you experience at least two of these signs. Irregular periods, so it may be infrequent or prolonged menstrual cycles that are most common. That's the most common sign of polycystic ovaries. So for example, you might have fewer than 9 periods a year, and it may be more than 35 days between periods, and it may be abnormally very heavy. Excess androgen. So elevated levels of that male hormone may result in physical signs such as we said before, excess facial hair and also excess body hair, and occasionally severe acne and male pattern baldness. Polycystic ovaries. So your ovaries might be enlarged and it may contain follicles that surround the eggs, and as a result, the ovaries might fail to function regularly. So polycystic ovary syndrome, their signs and symptoms are typically severe if you are obese. Some of the complications of polycystic ovaries include infertility, and I think this is a main complication. A lot of women experience infertility. We also have gestational diabetes or pregnancy-induced high blood pressure. So you get pregnant and unfortunately you develop diabetes and diabetes or high blood pressure. Miscarriage or premature birth, this is also a complication. Severe liver inflammation caused by fat accumulation in the liver. Also metabolic syndrome, and metabolic syndrome is a cluster of conditions, and these conditions include high blood pressure, high blood sugar, high cholesterol levels, and all of these increase your risk of cardiovascular disease. You can also get type 2 diabetes or become pre-diabetic. Sleep apnea is also a complication of PCOS. Depression, anxiety, and eating disorders can occur. Abnormal uterine bleeding, cancer of the uterine lining, which is endometrial cancer, and obesity. However, if you're obese already, obesity is actually associated with polycystic ovary syndrome, and it can actually worsen the complications of this disorder. So most women at some point have to actually contend with weight gain, most women. But for women with polycystic ovary syndrome, losing weight can become a constant struggle. And for people who actually suffer with PCOS, a lot of people will be able to attest to this. They always say that it's a constant struggle with their weight. So polycystic ovary syndrome makes it more difficult for the body to actually use the hormone insulin. This is why they struggle with the weight. So it's more difficult for the body to use insulin. And we know that insulin helps convert your sugar and starches from food into energy. And this condition is called insulin resistance. So insulin resistance causes insulin and sugar to build up in your bloodstream. So high insulin levels increase the production of the male hormone called the androgens, right? So once you have high insulin level, it would increase your androgen levels. So high androgen levels lead to symptoms such as we said before, the hair growth. It leads to also acne. It leads to irregular periods, and it leads to weight gain. So because weight gain is triggered by the male hormone androgen, it is typically in the abdomen. And this is where men tend to carry their weight, if you would realize. So because it's a male hormone, androgen is a male hormone, once you have an excess of androgen levels, you will tend to carry your weight in your abdomen. So instead of having a pear shape for women, women with polycystic ovary syndrome more have an apple shape because they carry a lot of weight in their abdomen due to the androgen, the increased androgen levels. And remember, if you have high insulin your levels, then you would get a lot of androgen hormones. So abdominal fat is the most dangerous kind of fat. And this is because it's associated with an increased risk of heart disease and other health conditions. And as we said last week, you are at risk for a woman once your waist is over 35 inches, and for men once your waist is over 40 inches. So you need to pay specific attention to your waist circumference. So while there is no cure for polycystic ovary syndrome, a healthy diet can help promote weight loss. It can also help lower your glucose levels, and it can help improve your blood pressure and your cholesterol levels. And these 6 tips can get you started. So firstly, monitor your portion sizes. Start reading nutrition labels on the packaged foods to see what's considered the correct portion size. Often appropriate portion sizes are much smaller than we actually think. Besides preventing overeating, reading labels can also help you track your daily caloric intake, and this is for people who pay specific attention to the amount of calories that they have daily, right? So let me give you an example. If you're having rice, then a proper portion for your rice is, you can take your measuring cup, and 1/3 of the measuring cup, this is cooked rice, should be your portion. The most you should go up to is a 1/2 cup. So you take your measuring cup, you measure it out, and that's your portion of rice. 1/3, 1/2 cup for the most. So eat whole grain and high fiber foods. So when trying to prevent or manage diabetes, you will need to be choosy about the type of carbohydrates you are having. Because fiber actually helps control blood sugar levels and it makes you feel fuller, you should more up to a complex, nutrition-rich carbohydrate. And these carbohydrates are vegetables, they are fruits, they are beans, and they are whole grains. And as a bonus, increasing your fiber will also help lower your cholesterol levels. So you want to look at your fiber intake, especially if you are diabetic, right? So limit your added sugar. Unnatural sweeteners also contribute to calories with no nutritional benefits. And this excess sugar can actually lead to obesity and other health problems. So try swapping out candy, cake, cookies for fruit or even dark chocolate. So if you want to have chocolate, have dark chocolate, but in moderation. You can also decrease your sugar intake by drinking water or sugar-free flavored sparkling water instead of juice or soda. And if you have been following me, I said before in some of the presentations that for me, when I want to have juice, I use vitamin C 1000, the disposable in the water, and that's what I use for juice. So when I'm eating and I want to have juice, I just drink a vitamin C 1000 milligram or orange flavor, and I will be fine. That helps me if I want to have juice or have some coconut water, right? It doesn't mean that you cannot have juice, just everything in moderation, and especially if you are diabetic, right? Balance your plate. So a well-balanced diet is a key factor in maintaining your weight and a healthy weight, that is. So a quick guide is fill half of your plate with non-starchy vegetables. It can be broccoli, it can be salad. Next, fill a quarter of your plate with lean protein, non-fried. It can be chicken breast, it can be fish. The other quarter of your plate should include a good carbohydrate such as brown rice, whole wheat pasta, or sweet potato. So swap your white rice for brown rice. Swap your white pasta for whole grain pasta and your Irish potato for sweet potato. So there are a lot of things that we can swap. For some people, brown rice is an acquired taste, brown rice and brown whole grain pasta. Yes, it's acquired taste, but it's your healthier option. So you can add vegetables to your brown rice if you cannot stand to eat your brown rice alone. For me, what I usually do when I do my brown rice, I will buy brown basmati rice or brown jasmine rice, right? To me, it tastes better. And I will cut up some spinach and put it in the rice. Or I will cut up some okras, put it in the rice. Do it like fried rice. You can add some carrots. So anything that will encourage you to eat the brown rice as opposed to having white rice. Limit your added salt. So the majority of sodium we eat comes from processed, or if we have a lot of fast food, restaurant made foods. So which is why it's best that home cooked meals, right? As much as possible. So on busy days, you choose a packaged food with the lowest amount of sodium. If you have to purchase food, then you look for foods that have the lowest amount of sodium. Remember that a low sodium diet doesn't have to be a bland diet. You can add fresh or dry herbs and spices which have a lot of flavor. Usually what I tell my clients, you can use Mrs. Dash. Mrs. Dash is a good form of flavor, seasoning flavor that you can use to your meals, all right? Choose heart-healthy fats. So with heart health in mind, you aim to reduce or eliminate the foods that are high in saturated or trans fat. So skip vegetable oil or shortening, and you can opt for olive oil or avocado oil or even coconut oil. Any oil that is made from nuts or seed. This is if you really have to use oil. If you can avoid oil on a whole, then it's best that you do so, right? But remember, heart-healthy fats are packed with a significant amount of calories, so you want to consume them in moderation. So even though it's good, you want to consume them in moderation. Exercise and daily physical movement. So both can help to reduce your insulin resistance, and especially when you have it especially when you're limiting your unhealthy carbohydrates. This can work excellent for you. So many experts agree that at least 150 minutes per week of exercise is ideal. So if you're not exercising, try to get at least 150 minutes per week of exercise. This can actually help you a lot if you are dealing with polycystic ovary syndrome. So, like many other disorders, polycystic ovary syndrome responds positively to a proactive lifestyle choices, right? And these include high fiber foods. We said before that high fiber foods can help combat insulin resistance by slowing down your digestion and reducing the impact of sugar on the blood. So great options for high fiber food includes things as broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, greens, including lettuce, arugula. You also have the red peppers, green peppers, beans, lentils, almonds, berries, sweet potato, pumpkin. So these are some of your high fiber foods that you can incorporate into your diet. Lean proteins such as tofu if you're not eating meat, chicken, fish. They don't provide fiber, but they are actually very filling and they are healthy dietary options for women with polycystic ovary syndrome. So foods that help reduce the inflammation level may also be beneficial because remember we said that a risk factor for polycystic ovaries is low inflammation levels, right? So these foods are tomatoes, kale, spinach, almonds and walnuts, olive oil, fruits such as berries, so blueberries, strawberries, and fatty fish, which is high in omega-3, such as salmon and sardines. So these can be incorporated into your diet. Foods that we should avoid if you have polycystic ovaries. So refined carbohydrates, because these cause inflammation and they exacerbate your insulin resistance. So they should be avoided or limited significantly. So these include high processed foods such as white bread, muffins, breakfast pastries, sugary desserts, anything made with white flour. Pasta noodles that list salmonella, durum flour, these wheats as their first ingredients, they are high in carbohydrate and they are low in fiber. So these should actually be removed from your diet, right? Because you're looking for stuff that is high in fiber. Pastas made from bean or lentil flour instead of wheat flour are excellent alternatives. I know that this can be a bit more on the pricey side, but if you can, try to purchase the pasta that is actually made from lentil flour, right, or any bean. Also, you can try Ezekiel bread. It's a flourless bread. It's made with grains. It's very, very high in fiber. So you can use that if you want to have bread, right? It's a very healthy alternative. So sugar is a carbohydrate and it should be avoided wherever possible. So when reading food labels, because now you need to start reading your food labels, be sure to look for the sugar various names because we know there are various names such as sucrose, corn syrup, dextrose, because we also know that, you know, when they say you have 100% juice in your juice, a lot
Oh,
of times we have sugar in there, right? So you want to look at your labels as much as possible. So it's good. It's a very good idea to reduce or remove inflammation-causing foods such as fries, margarine, red or processed meat from your diet as well. So try swapping your burgers if you're having burgers for a turkey burger. Uh, if there's a chicken instead of beef burgers, right? We want to eliminate as much as possible your red meat. So probiotics may be beneficial to women with polycystic ovary syndrome. So in a study in 2019, one group of women were taking probiotics along with maintaining a good lifestyle, while the other group was only maintaining a good lifestyle. So both groups showed improvement, but the group taking probiotics had additional improvement. So good gut health and restoring your microbiome is extremely important, not only for persons with polycystic ovary syndrome, but it is also good for people with reproductive issues as well. So new research has shown that healthy levels of good gut bacteria, it not only help with restoring your gut microbiome and your digestive health, but it also helps with reducing inflammation. And remember, people with polycystic ovaries have low-grade inflammation. So it helps with a healthy immune system, and it also helps with psychological health and well-being as well. And study further showed that women who were overweight or obese, they actually reduced their body fats in that study when they used probiotics in their diet. So probiotic supplementation has overall an additional benefit in reducing your abdominal fat. And I know a lot of us, that's where we face, our challenges we face in losing weight is our abdominal fat. Adding probiotics to your diet can actually help reduce your abdominal fat. It can also help your testosterone levels, your menstrual regularity, and also improve your gut and digestive function. So the Herbalife Nutrition Simply Probiotic, and in the photo that you're seeing there, is a daily science packed probiotic, and it provides 1 billion active probiotic organisms which promote digestive health. It is formulated with a powerful probiotic that aids in carbohydrate and protein digestion. And this probiotic is tough enough to actually survive your gastric journey to get where it comes, and it helps. You try to just mute person. Give me one second, guys. Let me just try to mute. All right. Yes, so your probiotics actually simply probiotics, it helps to, it is tough enough, sorry, to survive the gastric journey to where to get where it needs to go. So losing weight not only cuts your risk for many diseases, it can also make you feel better. When you have polycystic ovaries, shedding just 10% of your body weight can bring your periods back to normal. And this is something that we have to pay attention to. If you have polycystic ovary syndrome, just try losing 10% of your body weight. And that can actually help bring your periods back on track. So it can also help relieve some of the symptoms of polycystic ovary syndrome. So you want to practice mindful eating habits, and you want to remain aware of the bodily cues that tells you when you're hungry and tells you when you're full. You want to cut off sugar. Not only does it dangerously spike your insulin levels, but it's extremely inflammatory. You want to introduce healthy fats into your diet because fats help you keep fuller for a longer period of time. So if you have avocado, it's good to add a piece of avocado to your plate. Olives, So you have protein with every meal or snack. Consuming a higher protein diet is actually associated with reduced appetite, and it lowers your insulin and it lowers your testosterone levels. So you would see in your photo, that's how your plate should look. Half of your plate should be vegetables, quarter of your plate should be carbs, quarter should be fat, and then you have your protein. Now, for your protein people, if you're not eating meat and you want to have your tofu or you want to have beans, just make sure you have sufficient, right? Lentils, black beans, chana, all of these things are very high in yes, chickpeas, chana, chickpeas. So all of these things are actually very, very high in your for your protein levels, right? In our fitness challenge, one thing I try to push with our clients is looking at a high protein based snack level, right? I don't usually count calories. What I do, I pay specific attention to your protein and your carbohydrates, right? So in this challenge, there is a challenge for polycystic ovary syndrome. You receive a meal plan, you receive a one-on-one coaching, you are added to a support group because a lot of people, their issue is motivation, right? So when you get added to the support group, you are actually getting motivated, right? Because we post daily on the group. So that's for the polycystic ovary syndrome challenge. If you don't have polycystic ovary syndrome, we have a 21-day fitness challenge at you. We also give you a meal plan. On that meal plan, it tells you exactly what you can have for the various options that you can have for healthy snacks, for healthy meals, right? I will tell you a bit more of what we do in the challenge. Our meal plan is powered by Herbalife Nutrition. So we use their shakes to replace our breakfast and our dinner. And we use the shakes for both the polycystic ovary syndrome challenge and our 21-day challenge. So you have a shake to replace your breakfast and a shake to replace your dinner. We use the teas. You have 2 teas per day. So you have a tea with your shake for breakfast and a tea around lunchtime. We have your healthy snack, a mid-morning snack, and a mid-afternoon snack, and we have your healthy lunch. Okay, and basically, the healthy shake that we're having, it's not a smoothie, it's not a protein shake by itself. It's a healthy meal just in the form of a shake. So you get your 21 essential amino acids in there. You get your minerals, your herbs, and it's a healthy source of fiber. And it comes up, if you're counting calories, to about 200 calories, right? So that's our healthy shake. In the tea, we have it increases your metabolism, it increases your energy levels, so it acts as a fat burner, it reduces your appetite, and a lot of people like it because it is a natural detox. If you're having digestive issues, the tea and the aloe, because the tea and the aloe go together, I will tell you a bit more about the aloe in a few. Once you have your tea and aloe, you go to the bathroom right after. Once you have digestive issues, it would help you if you have ulcerated stomach. A lot of clients who has ulcerated stomach, their feedback is once they take the aloe with their tea and stuff, it actually soothes their digestive system. So the aloe helps the cleansing of your digestive health. It is anti-inflammatory and it soothes your digestive system, right? So we also use a protein powder, and this added to your shake. Now we have to remember when we lose weight, we also lose muscle mass. So to prevent losing muscle mass, you have to add protein to your diet. You have to increase your protein levels. So this personalized protein powder, this one is recommended for people with polycystic ovary syndrome. This personalized protein powder, it helps curb your hunger and cravings. It helps maintain and build your muscle mass, as I said before. It is unflavored, so you add it to your shakes. We do 1 scoop per shake, all right? How do you make your shake? So we just add 8 to 10 ounces of cold water. We do about 4 ice cubes. We do 1 scoop of our protein drink mix for people with the 21-day challenge. If you're in the polycystic ovary syndrome challenge, we use the personalized protein. And we have 2 scoops of our Formula 1, which is your healthy drink mix. In that healthy drink mix, Formula 1, there's approximately 10 to 12 flavors. So there's a variety for you to choose from. We have cookies and cream, cafe latte, French vanilla, chocolate, pumpkin spice, just to name a few. So wild berry for people who are into the berries, and pina colada. So there's a lot of flavors to choose from. You just blend it and then you enjoy. So it's very convenient for people who are on the go. You just make your shake and you have it, right? It goes well if you don't have much time to make breakfast, right? And I know a lot of us who, when we live in the Caribbean, we are more than likely having bread for breakfast and for dinner. So having your shake to replace breakfast and dinner, it quickly eliminates that part of having bread from your diet at that point in time. You can have bread, don't get me wrong. For your healthy snack, you can have a slice of whole wheat toast with peanut butter, but it's just about eliminating the amount that you have. So we have our shake to replace our breakfast and our dinner. In the tea is actually good because it have antioxidants, so it is anti-cancer. Because of that, it helps burn your fat, it improves your blood circulation, it detoxes your cell, and it gives you increased energy. Your aloe, as I was telling you before, so the aloe is added to your tea. The aloe is also a sweetener for your tea because there are different flavors. So you have mandarin, you have mango, and you have cranberry flavor. So you don't have to add sugar to your tea because the aloe acts as a sweetener, and it also helps with your digestive system, as we said before. And both the tea and aloe acts as a detox. We also have something called cellulose, right? This is a tablet that helps for eliminate water weight, and it helps with bloating. You have that 3 times per day after each meal. So after your shake, breakfast shake, after your lunch, and after your dinner shake. We have a lot of clients who actually, they don't want to lose weight, but they have issues with bloating, so they just use cellulose. That's all they use. It is on the healthy side. It is made with corn silk, all right? You also have something for this is in your polycystic ovary syndrome plan, something called snack defense. Now, snack defense is a powerful herbal blend that helps support your blood sugar levels, and it also is an excellent source of chromium. So this helps your body manage sugar from your meals. That's the reason why we added to the persons who suffers with polycystic ovary syndrome, because remember, their majority of the times the insulin levels are off, right? So it is a core factor that helps insulin perform its function by allowing better cell absorption of the glucose. So this is added to your meal plan, right? For the PCOS plan, you also have what is called Sure syndrome. This is this actually, let me just unmute. So this supports your body's natural defense against oxidative stress. And we know that oxidative stress is an imbalance of free radicals and antioxidants in your body. So this oxidative stress can actually lead to cell and tissue damage. So we want to minimize it. And higher levels of oxidative stress have also been reported in obese persons with polycystic ovary syndrome. So this tablet helps to support your immunity and cellular health. It provides general antioxidant support against the free radicals, as I said before. So let's see some results from the polycystic ovary syndrome. Now, Herbalife is a global organization with lots of coaches and support groups. And these are some of the results of some of the coaches who have been on the polycystic ovary syndrome plan. And we see here a drastic change. She lost 65 pounds. Now, people, you will not lose 65 pounds in 21 days. It's not, I tell all my clients when they're coming in, it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle. So you cannot expect to have your shake today and don't have it tomorrow and just keep skipping and expect to see results, right? It's a lifestyle, it's a healthy lifestyle. So our second coach, you would realize this is the difference between April 11th and April 28th for her results. All of these photos I'm showing you, these coaches, they suffer with polycystic ovary syndrome. She lost 54 pounds in total. She did a 21-day challenge and she was actually the winner of the 21-day challenge. That's why you see her number one there. So once you are consistent, you would get results, right? You just need to keep eating healthy, and that's the main thing. A lot of times some of us we want to lose weight, but we wanted the fast way. This is not a quick fix. I can tell you that upfront. It's a lifestyle that you have to develop, and the reason why we call it a 21-day challenge is not that you would actually lose all this weight in 21 days. It's because you take 21 days to break a habit and to create a new habit. So the 21-day challenge is breaking unhealthy eating habits and developing healthier ones. We have to remember that, sometimes I tell people the benefits of eating healthy is weight loss. So you look at it from the perspective of you want to be healthy. And that's the reason why you're going on a fitness challenge, because you want to be healthy, right? So this is my last photo, I think, for another 21-day challenge with another coach, all right? And all of these persons suffer polycystic ovary syndrome. So if you're coping with polycystic ovary syndrome or any of its symptoms, you may feel frustrated at times, but taking proactive steps regarding your health can improve your mood as well as reduce your symptoms. So choosing the right nutrition can lead to a happier and a healthier life. So why wait? And this is your opportunity now to ask me any questions. So you can unmute your mic and feel free to ask me any question.
Hello, good night.
Hi, good night.
I am Dolores Lara. I'm calling from Trinidad.
Yes.
A friend of Miss Vos here.
Okay.
Yes, I am very happy that I've tuned into your program. And this is probably about the fourth time I've been listening to you, and I find you have been doing excellent, very interesting topics. Well, you are well informed, I've been enjoying listening to you a whole lot. And so far, I don't want to miss any of your programs.
I will.
uh, You mentioned I heard you talking about the polycystic ovary syndrome. I have some young relatives, 30s and 40s, that that have been having problems to get pregnant more than 10 years now. And sometimes I feel so I am very concerned about them.
Right.
I just wish that something could happen. I know you mentioned about a proper diet kind of thing,
Mhm.
but as I'm wondering what advice I could give them probably after listening to you. What else besides the diet, a good diet, kind of thing? What else? What other advice I could really give them after listening to your program? I don't know if you could help me.
Okay, now I could speak in regard to nutrition. I wouldn't want to give anything else outside of nutrition. But because, and the thing is, a lot of times, a lot of times when it's regarding infertility, and it's always related to something with polycystic ovaries, right? And these things can actually reverse itself once you have proper nutrition. It always happens. It's just a lot of times people are not disciplined enough to remove stuff from their diet. So the problem, it keeps reoccurring. But the diet, I cannot overemphasize on the diet how important it is. But for a lot of people with polycystic ovary syndrome, removing a lot of the carbs, it helps extremely. It is extremely beneficial for them because a lot of carbohydrates carry sugars, right? And you want to reduce the amount of carbs. For a lot of people, that's very, very difficult because they have to go now on a low